Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I just want to let you know that today's videos for reading are going to be a little bit different than normal. The day that we learned about the spinal cord and the brainstem in the classroom, I was visiting family, so I was not there to teach it. So I'm doing a lot of today's videos and stuff from home and doing our read aloud and stuff afterwards. Our discussion questions, because you're not going to be able to be there to hear the class's responses. I'm going to post them on the Google Classroom. It's just kind of in quiz format. Don't feel like it's a quiz. I just want you to respond and answer the questions the best you can, as you would if we were discussing it in the class and you were hearing classmates do that. So just look for that in the Google Classroom today, that you'll kind of have it set up as a quiz to answer some of our post-reading discussion questions. Enjoy our read aloud, learning about the spinal cord and the nervous system today and the brain. Okay, guys, today we are on day 8, the nervous system, and we're going to start by going over vocabulary, and then we will jump into our read aloud for today. So our first word that we have is going to be the brainstem. So we've been focusing on the nervous system for the past few days. The brainstem is going to be located down here. It's the central trunk of our human brain. So when we say trunk, it's what's going to lead into that spinal cord there. The brainstem continues all the way down that spinal cord. So it's going to be a really big piece of that brain, a big important portion of that brain. Our next word is a word that we're pretty familiar with from social studies as well, but it's going to be the word hemispheres. And hemisphere is going to be considered half of a sphere. Well, our brain is very much sphere shaped, as you can kind of see here. It's obviously a little bit bumpy and not quite a perfect sphere, but our brain is split into hemispheres as well. So if you look at this picture, and we're going to learn more about it today, we have two halves of our brain, and it is split like that. So we're going to learn about what the function of each of those halves of the brains are. So each hemisphere of the brain. The next word we're going to go over is the cerebrum. So we're really breaking down the brain into different parts today. And the cerebrum is the dominant part of the human brain that's found in the front of the skull. So this is going to be up by your forehead. It has two sections, and they're both responsible for regulating most of your thought processes and voluntary actions in the body. So if we think about those voluntary actions, that's going to be like those voluntary muscles. So the ones that are going to be connected to our arms and our legs, and that we have control over. So the cerebrum is going to be that front part of your brain. We have that cerebrum located on both hemispheres in the front part of our brain. And again, it's responsible for managing our thought processes and those actions that we tell it to do. Our next word is very similar to this one, and it's the cerebellum. The cerebellum is what we see in red on our picture here, and it's the part of the human brain that is found at the bottom and back of the skull, and it helps control muscle activity. So up here is where we would have seen that cerebrum. Over here is where we're going to see that cerebellum down at the bottom in red. So it's going to control the muscle activity. And our last word we're going to go over today is the word accurate. And accurate just means something is careful and it's free of mistakes. So we're going to talk, or free of mistakes or free of errors. We're going to talk today about why it's going to be so important for things to be accurate within our brain. We will go ahead and jump into our read aloud.